What's going on, Triad Hip Hop Podcast family? It's time for another lyrical breakdown. We're going to try to do these now a little bit more in the beginning of the week. So, today I wanted to really pay homage to, a rapper that we just lost last week, which was Dave Jolicoeur, a.k.a. Plug 2, a.k.a. Trugoy the Dove. 1/3 of the iconic group De La Soul. And, this is a joint, one of my favorites. Some of y'all may remember from back in the day when we had the Chappelle Show and De La Soul made a cameo on there, and they performed one of their songs. It was called Much More. And, I really like Dave's verse from this, Plug 2. I really love his verse from this, he was a dope MC, and I don't think he gets a lot of credit for that. De La Soul was just a dope group in general, and they brought something different to the table. They weren't cookie cutter at all. They were so anti-cookie cutter, They were really trying to bring something different, and they were one part also of the Native Tongues, which we had from back in the day. Had a lot of members in the Native Tongues, like the Jungle Brothers. I believe Queen Latifah might have been part of the Native Tongues. We had a lot of people, man, and Tribe Called Quest was Native Tongues. So it was a dope conglomerate, if you will. But back to De La Soul and Trugoy the Dove. So this is I'm gonna do a lyrical breakdown on his verse from the song Much More. It's he kicks the song off, and I really think he does a great job, and his wordplay is just phenomenal. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into it. I want y'all to hear, what's going on with this verse, and then I'm gonna come back and just give my man all types of flowers and respect for what he contributed to hip hop. All right, let's do it.
Yeah, we give you much more. Longevity, baby. Hey, yo, Dave.
Yo, it's been instilled in me since infinite, y'all. Using these minutes like I value the call. Put your money in the bank and hold rank over friends who ain't got leadership skills. I got the sheep in my eyes, so I can't sleep. We like to land and lay the brand old way. Grand operate the scandal way. L.I. Shice. I play the Xbox instead of fucking with dice. I hate losing the doze, walk away with my dough, cause I doze. Tracy broke me, and now she wanna see the resident provoking me to pop wheelies on my bicycle. Watch your eyes twinkle. One house, two houses, third house, house rules, so house take bank. Watch Dave bank. Banner had him on a hawk since Atlanta extravaganza. Gamma ray rap, I make the Hulk snap. Jump back like James Brown, hey now. When the liquor over, we smoking the hay now. Delegate numero dos, I holla out the sound and los and keep the island close to me.
Much more is what we got in store.
Yeah, so all right, let's go ahead and jump into that. So I got the the lyrics, kind of written down, because I know most of them, but I'll forget some of them, so I had to make some notes here like I usually do. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. He said, yo, it's been instilled in me since infinite, y'all. Using these minutes like I value the call. You know what I mean? So right off the bat, I love how he starts it off. A dope bar, dope metaphor, using minutes like I value the call. You know what I mean? So, nowadays you don't have as much of that going around. But, back in the day, there was a lot more, you had to watch your minutes when you was on your phone, you know what I mean? On a cell phone. When cell phones was first jumping, you know what I mean? The most of the plans would give you a limited amount of minutes. So, you had to use the minutes wisely, or you were just out for the whole month. So anyway, I like how he said that, using these minutes like I value the call. And then he said, put your money in the bank and hold rank over friends who ain't got leadership skills. You know what I mean? So, right there, he's kind of delving into something a little more on the personal side, you know what I mean? But, he's like, put your money in the bank and hold rank. That's the most important part of that bar right there, you know what I mean? So he's like, don't be out here just wastefully spending money and blowing your money on nonsense when you could stack your chips, you know what I mean, and hold rank, you know what I mean? Because nowadays, money is power. You know what I mean? Money is power, money is respect, all of that. So, I think he was just trying to give y'all a little tip there. He said, put your money in the bank and hold rank over friends who ain't got leadership skills. He said, I got the sheep in my eyes, so I can't sleep. We like the land in the laid, the brand old way, grand operate the scandal way. L.I. Shiest. You know what I mean? So, he kind of went on a little bit of a tangent right there, and I love it because, his bars is dope, but it's like it don't always have to rhyme perfectly for it to still be a dope bar. You know what I mean? So he said, I got the sheep in my eyes, so I can't sleep. You know what I mean? That's dope metaphor right there. You know what I mean? They say when you want to go to sleep, if you can't count sheep, that was an old method from many years ago. You know what I mean? So that's why he said, I got the sheep in my eyes, so I can't sleep. You know what I mean? I'm too busy with the sheep in my eyes to actually get sleep. And then he said, we like the land and the laid, the brand old way, grand operate the scandal way. L.I. Shiest. L.I. Shiest, he's talking about where they from, Long Island. You know what I mean? If you hear any rappers saying L.I., normally they talking about Long Island. You know what I mean? It's a lot of dope rappers from Long Island. De La Soul, Rakim, Keith Murray, K Solo, you know what I mean? So yeah, Long Island gave birth to some of the dopest MCs. So anyway, he said after he said L.I. Shiest, he said I play the Xbox instead of fucking with dice. I hate losing to those who walk away with my dough cause I doze. Tracy broke me. And now she want to see the resident provoking me. You know what I mean? So yeah, let's go back through that. He said, after he said L.I. Shiest, he said I play the Xbox instead of fucking with dice. So he like, I'll admit I sit here and play a video game before I go out and roll some dice and lose all my money and shit. You know what I mean? Gambling all my money away, playing fucking dice. Because I mean, nowadays, and when you got money like that, nobody respects you unless you're putting up thousands and thousands of dollars. You want to really play dice and you rich, they're going to be like, yeah, put up like 10,000, put up like 5,000, next thing you know, you going home broke because you play some fucking dice. So, I get what he's saying, you know what I mean? I've never been a big dice fan, you know what I mean? I don't hate on nobody for doing it, you know what I mean? Do your thing, but it's not my thing, you know what I mean? Because I'll fuck around and lose money too. So, and then he said, I hate losing to those who walk away with my dough because I dozed. Tracy broke me. You know what I mean? So now he going on to something personal. You know what I mean? He mentioned somebody named Tracy, talking about how they broke him. You know what I mean? Because I guess he tried to play a game of dice or something like that with them. And next thing you know, he losing money. He said, Tracy broke me. And now she want to see the resident provoking me to pop wheelies on my bicycle. Watch her eyes twinkle. Man, listen. So it's like, the wordplay is still dope, but, he kind of still giving you this personal story of this is something that happened to me, so I'll never go back to that stupidity. You know what I mean? That foolishness. So anyway, then he said 1 house, 2 houses, 3rd house, house rules. So house take bank. Watch Dave bank. You know what I mean? And so, this was dope. When they did it on Chappelle's show, this was dope. Because when he said watch Dave bank, he was kind of referencing Dave Chappelle, like watch Dave bank, like watch Dave make a lot of money. But in reality, on the song, he's talking about himself, you know what I mean? Watch Dave bank, you know what I mean? Because I'm going to be the one making all this money instead of losing it and spending it foolishly. He said, house rules, so house take bank, watch Dave bank. Banner had him on the Hawk since Atlanta extravaganza. Gamma ray rapper make the Hulk snap. Come on, man. that whole bar and a half right there was so fucking dope right there. He said, it was so many, it was some metaphors in there and entendres and all types of shit. So he said, after he said, watch Dave Bank, then he said Banner had him on the Hawks. You know what I mean? He making a metaphor with his name, like Dave Banner, David Banner, who is the Hulk, from the comics. You know what I mean? Banner had him on the Hawks since Atlanta extravaganza. And then he got the Atlanta Hawks metaphor, entendre there. He said Banner had him on the Hawks since Atlanta extravaganza. Gamma ray rap, I make the Hulk snap. You know what I mean? So, that's dope to me, man. The whole David Banner, Hulk, Atlanta Hawks, comparison, it's just dope, man. So, and then he said, jump back like James Brown, hey now, when the liquor over, we smoking the hay now. You know what I mean? He said, jump back like James Brown, because that was a famous thing with James Brown. One of the most iconic soul and R&B artists ever. One of his famous lines was jump back and kiss myself. You know what I mean? That's why he said, jump back like James Brown, hey now. When the liquor over, we smoking the hay now. So he just making a reference like, if we run out of the liquor, we gonna go to smoking the hay. You know what I mean? And then he said, delegate numero dos. I holler out the sound of los and keep the island close to me. You know what I mean? So that's how he ends it off. And I think that's dope too. He said, delegate numero dos. You know what I mean? That's a nod to himself. He's saying delegate numero dos, meaning I'm known as plug 2. You know what I mean? I holler out the sound of los and keep the island close to me. Keep the island, Long Island, keep the island close to me. So he letting you know what I mean? I'll never, turn my back on Long Island. Anytime you hear De La Soul, they're going to be repping Long Island. You know what I mean? And so, I just wanted to, give this man some flowers, man. I mean, this is such a dope song. You know what I mean? It's called Much More. And, they letting you know right there, we can give you much more. You know what I mean? Trust me, we got a lot going on. I always felt bad because back in the day, they went through a lot of legal issues with record labels and things like that. And they kind of lost, I think they lost the catalog and then they eventually got it back. So right now, as this man was, passing away, they were just in the process of trying to get back to putting out music and you know what I mean, going on tours and, getting their catalog back out there so that people could go back and re-enjoy the De La Soul era. You know what I mean? The Daisy Age. You know what I mean? If you really want to know what that is, go back and listen to any De La Soul album. Matter of fact, start from the first De La Soul album. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I don't know, man. I mean, I really just loved what they came with. You know what I mean? I loved them from day one. You know what I mean? When they first made their first joint, Plug Tuning, it caught my attention immediately. The beat was fire. And, you know what I mean? It was just, the rhymes was dope. I was like, yo, this is dope, man. And they were just buzzing all over the city of New York and all over the country. And, you know what I mean? So, anyway, man, shout out to De La Soul. We still got the other 2 members of the group are still alive. Maceo, the DJ and producer. Plug One, you know what I mean? Pasta Noose. Shout out to them. And shout out to Dave, man. Dave Jolicoeur, a.k.a. Plug 2, a.k.a. Trugoy the Dove, you know what I mean? Trugoy, yogurt spelled backwards, you know what I mean? So, it was just, it's just always about the dope wordplay with them, man. I loved it. And so, please go back and listen to anything De La Soul, anything Native Tongues, you know what I mean? You'll love it, man. You know what I mean? If you really want to really respect the culture of hip hop, these are some of the people you should know about because they help to open the door for a lot of other people. You know what I mean? So anyway, man, that's my rant. This your man Kurt, Triad Hip Hop Podcast. Don't forget, like, share, subscribe, hit all those buttons. You know what I mean? Share this out with your friends. And, you know, anybody who likes discussing hip hop culture, and may like what we do, please send them our way, you know, and hit the buttons yourself. If you haven't already, like, share, subscribe. And that's it. We'll see y'all on the next show. We release our shows every Friday now. So, you know, we'll be pre-recording the episodes now to really make sure that we get them sharp and edited to perfection and all that good stuff instead of going live. So, you know, look for the new shows on Fridays. And, you know, we'll see y'all on the next one, all right? And thank y'all for the support. Peace.